Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Down and ready to ride.
Gotta be on the stage. I hope everybody's doing well today. Coming to you on this Sunday afternoon. Thank you if you came to the premiere earlier today. I very much. And reminder, we have Melanie coming up after this at whatever time that. Oh, another reminder. I do not wear eye makeup. Remember that. So I'm not sick and I'm not tired. I just don't have. That's the way we do. What was I gonna say? Oh, I can't even remember. The internet is place. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Oh, anyways, that's is ripped, so I need to re-roll that, and I will do that after. We are going to be watching.
Good morning, everyone. My name is.
Oh, Judge, we're not quite ready for you yet. If you would just hang on for 1 second, please. We first have to drink. Let's all have a. I know I'm real blurry. I think it's the internet, Vicky. It says it's fairly good. Oh, and now it says it's good. Anyways, hi, Hector. Cheers. Let's all say thank you to Jesus for that. Am I that bad? Well, let's just play this and get me off the screen then. Are they blurry? Or just me? Oh, God. I might be addicted to those Red Bulls, you guys. Tastes like delight. Hi, Mikey. Happy Sunday. Cheers. I'm too blurry to be on the screen. But these people aren't. But we are skipping 17 minutes of this. Actually, we're going to skip more than that. There we go. We're going to start with her. 29 minutes. Perfect.
I'm sorry. I was going to start with the females.
Okay, that works.
I got Miss Crawford first.
All right, good morning, ma'am. Are you Cassia Crawford?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have been charged with a felony trafficking illegal drugs. That bond is $10,000. Felony possession of a firearm during a commission or attempt to commit certain crimes. That bond is $5,000. You've also been charged with a felony possession of a substance with intent to manufacture a controlled substance, and that's in violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That bond is set at $5,000. So your total bond amount is $20,000. So 10, 5, and 5. So your total bond is $20,000. Your next court date is May 22nd, 2024 at 8:30. And that's only if you don't make this $20,000 bond. If you're still in jail by May 22nd, we'll have a hearing by Zoom video conference like today. But if you bond out before May 22nd, that court date is canceled because you bonded out and you'll receive a new court date by mail. Let me pull your application for a court-appointed attorney.
Only $20,000.
I am going to appoint a public defender to represent you at no cost to you, Ms. Crawford.
Thank
Do you have any questions? You're welcome. Any questions?
Can I get the UJR?
I can't hear you. Speak up for me.
Can I get the UJR?
No, ma'am, not on these charges. Your bond is
Oh, the fact that she knows what a UJR is gonna almost automatically preclude you from getting a UJR, which, in case you don't know, is an unsecured judicial release or a PR bond. But to know the terminology of UJR, it's a bad sign. It's a bad sign.
$20,000.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Best of luck to you. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Come on. Sorry, your name?
Good morning. What's your name?
What's the chest tattoo? It looks like a monster coming out of her chest. What is that? Maybe it's just the way that the shirt is dipping, but oh no. Oh no. You think it's an owl? I don't know. I'm not a tattoo girl. I would cover my body in tattoos, fake tattoos for like fun or whatever, just for the look. But no, ain't no way. Permanent tattoo. Be crazy. Permanent makeup, I would think about maybe. Looks like a frog. All up in here, animals. You know what's funny is that I bet if we looked up her, do they include that on the booking forms that are public? The tattoos that they have?
Danielle Davis.
Okay, Ms. Davis, you've been charged with a misdemeanor window tint violation. That bond is $500. You have a possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That bond is $500. That's a misdemeanor. You also have a misdemeanor or two misdemeanor possession of drug-related objects. Each of those is $500 apiece. And then a felony possession of a Schedule I controlled substance. That bond is $2,500. Then you have a felony possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. That bond is $5,000. So your total bond amount is $9,500. Your next court date is scheduled for May 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. And that's only if you don't bond out. So if you bond out before May 22nd, you won't have that preliminary hearing date. If you're still in jail and you don't make bond, you'll be brought up on May 22nd at 8:30. There will be a video conference hearing like today, and there'll be a hearing, to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail. If you bond out, you'll get a new court date in the mail, and you won't have that May 22nd hearing. Give me one moment. Let me take a look at your application for a public defender.
Will I qualify for UJR?
No, I've already considered that. And based on everything in front of me, no, ma'am, you don't. So your bond is the $9,500, and I am going to appoint you a public defender. So you will have counsel to represent you. You have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
What is 15% of 9,000?
So your bond is $9,500.
Okay. What is 15% of that?
It's about $1,400, about $1,425.
Okay.
But when they call, excuse me, when you call around, they usually will tell you the exact amount because sometimes they tack on little administrative fees.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You see the deputy right here.
Make sure you sign on the system.
Okay.
Conception Echols.
Conception? Come on. That's not a name. Did she say conception? I mean, and this is coming from a girl named Paisley, okay? I understand the name thing, but fuck off, right? That's not real.
Ms. Eccles, you've been charged with battery family violence. That bond is $1,500. It's a misdemeanor. You've also been charged with cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. That bond is $1,000. That's also a misdemeanor. So your total bond amount is $2,500. You do have the special condition. You can't contact your daughter, Chanel Rose Eccles. You also can't have any contact with the minor, Michaela Eccles Ariano. I'm also not allowing you to go back to that residence, 8292 Meridian Drive in Riverdale, Georgia. It was indicated that that is a shared residence. I will put on this bond order that you need to contact the sheriff within 10 days of being released from jail and have the sheriff escort you back there to collect some of your personal belongings, because you won't be able to go back for now. Do you understand everything I've said so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your next court date, if you're still in jail, your next court date is your preliminary hearing. And that will be on May 21st at 8:30 in the morning. If you don't make this $2,500 bond, you'll be brought up and there will be a video hearing like we're doing right now to determine whether or not there's enough evidence to keep you in jail on the 2 charges that I mentioned. Now, if you bond out on this $2,500 bond before May 21st, you won't have that hearing date. You've waived it by bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Now, you also have the option of waiving it today ahead of time if you want to move your case along the pipeline a little faster. Do you want to waive it and sign a waiver today, or you just want to keep it scheduled?
Yes, ma'am. Could I also qualify for the UJR?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your answer to my question. Did you want to waive it
Oh,
today?
yeah. Yes,
You
ma'am.
said yes. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me indicate such. Okay, so I've waived it for you. I've already considered you for that. I understand. I don't think you had a criminal history, but when there is an allegation of family violence or some sort of physical violence, we don't grant the UJRs in that instance. So, but your bond is deemed to be a reasonable bond, so I'm going to leave it at the 2,500. Okay.
Thank
Now,
you.
no problem. Since you have waived your preliminary hearing, you'll get a new court date by mail. And let me take a look at your application for a public defender. Give me one moment. Okay, so you answered the question about, yes, you do have a job, but you didn't mention how much you make a month.
I didn't put it down there. I make about 4,000 a month.
And do you have any minor children?
No, ma'am.
Do you have anybody to help you get a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm looking at the rest of your responses on here.
Well, I do help support my granddaughter.
I understand. Okay, based on your responses, you won't qualify for a public defender. You will be responsible for hiring your own attorney.
Okay.
Okay. You have any questions, Ms. Eccles?
No, ma'am.
Okay, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Make sure you sign on the system.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. What's your name?
For Mia Hamilton.
Hold on.
All right, Ms. Hamilton, you've been charged with 2 misdemeanors. Discharge of a gun near a highway or street. I've set that bond at $2,000. You also have a reckless conduct charge. I've set that bond at $1,000. So your total bond is $3,000.
Okay.
Your next court date is called your preliminary hearing. So if you don't make this $3,000 bond, then you will have court on May 21st at 8:30 to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail. But if you bond out before May 21st, you won't have that hearing because you're no longer in jail. You've waived it by bonding out. You also have the option of waiving it today ahead of time. Do you want to waive it or keep it scheduled?
Keep it scheduled.
Okay. I did receive your application for a court-appointed attorney, and you do qualify to have an attorney appointed to represent you at no cost to you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
All right, then that's all I have. Take care.
See the deputy. Come on.
Make sure you sign on the system. Good morning. May I have your name?
Barbara McKenzie.
Barbara McKenzie sounds like she's from Nova Scotia. Well, that just the name sounds like that. Anyways, Barbara McKenzie, what did you do, Barbara? What did you do?
Ms. McKenzie, you've been charged with one offense of reckless conduct. I've set that bond at $2,000. You understand your charge?
Yes.
Okay, your next court date is your preliminary hearing date. That's on May 21st. So if you don't make this $2,000 bond on May 21st, you'll be brought up for a hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail. But
Okay.
if you're no longer in jail by then because you bonded out, then you waived that court date. And so you won't have that hearing and you'll get a new court date by mail. But I'll also give you the option if you want to sign a waiver today to waive that court date ahead of time. Do you want to waive it or you just want to leave it scheduled?
No, you can waive it.
Okay. So I'm going to indicate on here that you're going to waive that date. So what that means is your case will just move along the pipeline a little faster.
Oh, Alana, you're killing me. Alana's getting Swiss Chalet on DoorDash today. Alana, here's my fucking hack for Swiss Chalet for days, okay? Get the half chicken dinner. Get extra rolls on the side and extra gravy and make yourself little chicken sandwiches dipped in gravy. Amazing. Swiss Chalet is, I guess it's Canadian. I thought it was Swiss, but it is a Canadian chain where they serve chicken, roasted chickens. If you remember in Members Only, when I was asking Mikey and Creed about finger bowls, that they put those out at Swiss Chalet. That was a fake accent, yeah. But I mean, you know, it's close. You're not getting it because you don't like it, but you could, but you're getting bonehead. You're not gonna get it because you don't like it. I get it. Tons of fun carving. Welcome. Also, I don't think you can eat eagles. And finger bowls, yes. The finger bowls. Where you put your finger. I talked to my dad this weekend, Alana, and I was mentioning you that you live in Nova Scotia. Actually, guys, I don't have Netflix, but my dad has Netflix and he wants me to watch a new show that I'm going to start watching called Baby Reindeer. Has anybody seen it? If you have, let me know. He's recommending it.
And you'll get a new court date in the mail of when to come back to court. I did receive your application for a public defender. You do qualify. So I am appointing an attorney to represent you at no cost. You have any questions, Ms. McKenzie?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just make sure you sign on the system before you leave. Take care. Good morning. May I have your name?
Catherine Nimbley.
Okay, Ms. Nimley.
Is Lou Malnati's the pizza that you get in Chicago? I went into Chicago. I went to Chicago, but we did not get that deep dish pizza. But is that the one you're talking about? And I will, Vicky. I will watch it. I gotta get Netflix back somehow again. I don't have it. You knew my dad says it's based on a true story. Obviously, I was born in Scotland. My dad's Scottish, and it's based on it's Scottish people in it. So oh, sorry. Dog wrestling? Full contact dog? What is that, Chuck? Is it dog on dog, or is it... You got to be really careful how you say this, Paisley. Is it a human versus a dog, or is it a dog versus a dog? And MB, yes, Outlander, I love it. Favorite books, great show. Are we just yelling that because my dad is Scottish? It's a furry versus a human. Okay. Oh, dogs were playing. Oh, I see. Good. Yes. And yes, Outland. Well, it's funny because I grew up obviously with my dad with a Scottish accent. My grandma has a Scottish accent. Scottish accents are the way my life is. So I can understand Scottish accents really well, but I don't do a very good one. Apparently the woman in Baby Reindeer, the lady, the bigger lady is, she's not Scottish and she's putting on an accent, which I guess that's what actresses do.
You have one misdemeanor charge of stalking. I've set that bond at $3,000. You have a special condition to this bond, and that special condition is do not go back to this address, 3711 Armental Drive in Ellenwood, Georgia. And also don't have any contact with the person who's named as the victim in this case, and that's Elon Itana Marquise. Do you understand everything I've said so far?
Yeah.
Okay, your next court date, if you don't make this $3,000 bond, your next court date will be on May 21st at 8:30 in the morning. You'll be brought up before the court to have a hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail on this stalking charge. But if you bond out before May 21st, you won't have that hearing because you're no longer in jail. I will give you the option of waiving it today. If you want to waive that hearing date ahead of time, you can, or you can leave it scheduled. Do you want to waive it or leave it scheduled?
No, I don't want to waive it. I want to keep it.
Okay, I'll keep it scheduled for you. Let me get your application for a public defender. Give me one moment. Okay, so I've reviewed this application. You do qualify to have a public defender represent you. So I am granting that request. All right, you have any questions, ma'am?
If I have money on my debit card, can I pay my bond here? I don't have nobody to bond me.
Probably, you gotta ask the bonding company. I don't know their process,
If
but
I want to pay everything on my debit card.
you may be able to. You have to ask them there at the jail, okay? All right, best of luck to you.
Alana.ms. I will check it out.
Miss Nimley, thank you. May I have your name, ma'am?
Leandria Russell.
All right, Ms. Russell, you have been charged with one misdemeanor offense, of simple battery, family violence. I've set that bond at $1,500. Now, you do have a special condition. Stay away and have no contact with Yaramaya Dean. You cannot have any contact with that person while this bond condition is in place. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Your next court date, if you don't make this $1,500 bond, your next court date will be May 21st at 8:30 in the morning. You'll be brought up before the court by video conference like you're appearing today. And there will be a hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail on this simple battery charge. But if you bond out before May 21st, you would have waived that hearing by bonding out because you're no longer in jail. You can also sign and waive the hearing today ahead of time if you choose to do so, or you can leave it scheduled. You want to waive your preliminary hearing or leave it scheduled on the calendar?
Leave it, please.
Okay, no problem. I received your application for a public defender.
Hi, Bev. Was that 2 stalking charges in a row, Walter? Could you tell me, was that the lady before had a stalking charge and then this lady's got a stalking charge? Ladies, let me tell you something. When he says no, the answer is no. Or if she says no, the answer is no. Don't qualify it, Paisley. My brain's like, except asterisk, asterisk, no, crazy, no.
You do qualify, so I am granting that request. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am, thanks.
You're welcome. Take care. Make sure you sign on the system. Good morning, ma'am. May I have your name?
Yes, Matadra Whitener.
Okay, Ms. Whitener, I understand you were present before Judge Parker on yesterday. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and just from what I reviewed in the system, it looks like you were charged yesterday with driving on a suspended license.
Yes.
Okay, so there were 2 additional charges that I just want to mention. And that's the operating a vehicle without insurance, as well as driving on a suspended registration. So I've set bond on each of those at $250. So the total is $500 between those offenses. Now, I did see that.
Hi, Tin Man. Calm your tits. Yeah, did she pick up charges in jail? Is that what's happening here? I love these. Thank you, by the way, to Chris Engelby, who got me these pens that are just perfect for me. Please kindly fuck off, that one says. I really enjoy that one. Wait, there's another one. Where's the good one? Oh, this one. I stole this motherfucker. I like that one too.
That you waived your preliminary hearing yesterday. Do you still want to waive it for these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna mark it as waived. So you will get a new court date of when to come back to court for, all of your driving offenses.
Okay.
You were approved yesterday for a court-appointed attorney, so you're still approved for a court-appointed attorney. So hopefully they'll consolidate all your cases together and you're good to go. You have any questions?
How do I know if all of the charges have been paid for?
You mean like as far as your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
You would know better than I would, because you would either contact a bonding company or somebody like a friend or family member to help you. Have you done that already?
Yesterday, but after.
No, Judge, she means when are they finished charging her? Are they going to charge her more charges, or is this her final bond? Right? I'm pretty sure that's what she's asking.
After I talked to the judge, I didn't have a phone call.
Okay, well, I'm not sure about yesterday's.
I don't know if those, my bad.
No, it's okay. I think because you have these 2 additional charges that you probably weren't able to bond out until you saw me today. So now that I've set bond on these 2 offenses, you should be able to, make any phone calls and talk to whoever you need to talk to bond out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know because, those 2 charges came yesterday after.
Mhm.
So I don't know if the person I had to pay for the bonding paid for those extra 2.
Probably not, because, unless let me not say unless. I don't think so, only because I just set your bond today.
Okay.
So, but just, once you make those calls, you'll be able to figure it out, and, hopefully they've gotten it taken care of for you. All right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Good Morning, may I have your name?
Letitia White, and good morning.
Say your name one more time.
Letitia White.
I sneezed. What do we think she did? I don't know what she did. Some hairdo, right? Says a lady wearing a wig.
Give me 1 second, Miss White.
Yes, ma'am.
They won't let it. They see one of the officers. One. Obviously, was
White girl got tissue.
she got you. Yeah. Yeah.
The judge is reading something here. I don't know what's going on. Ooh, somebody else sneezed in my house. Bless you. See, I paused it instead of muting it. I'm a dumbass.
Miss White, is this the first time you're seeing a judge?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have your paperwork in front of me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send over an email to the jail intake to ask them to send your paperwork to me. And so we'll hold you to the end of the line. Maybe by that time I'll have it and I'll be able to tell you what your charges are in your bond, okay? You're welcome.
Hello, cellulite yoga pants.
Do we have any more ladies?
Yeah.
No,
right
that's
here,
it for the
Judge.
females.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna, just hold Miss White for me. I'm sending an email now to see what's going on with her paperwork.
Okay.
I had only paused it for 1 second, but thank you, Tin Man. Green name fixed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here comes the sound. Do, 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 do. Love it so much. Appreciate it, Tin Man. Hope you are doing well. Thank you so much. This judge is slow. She is slow, but methodical. I think that she is, she seems pretty fair. But I mean, like yesterday in Travis County, what did we see when the judge just like completely flipped on a bunch of stuff? I don't think we're seeing that today. She is pretty solid on what she decides. Pretty solid.
What's up?
Hold on. Come have a seat. Y'all have. So.
Yes. Some more roller.
Are you hydrated and caffeinated?
All right, good morning. What's your name, sir?
Ma'am, Calvin Deshaun Broussard.
Is that Mr. Broussard?
Yeah, yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Broussard, I have you charged with burglary in the first degree. I've considered bond. I'm not granting one today. There needs to be a hearing to determine your bond. I'm scheduling that hearing for May 24th at 8:30 in the morning. You'll be brought up, and there will be a hearing by Zoom video conference like this hearing today. And at that time, another judge will determine bond.
Sure.
I did receive your application for a court-appointed attorney, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any, oh, let me give you one other information. You also will have a preliminary hearing. That hearing is to determine whether or not there's enough evidence to keep you in jail on this burglary charge. And that will be May 22nd. So May 20.
Hold on. I'm a little confused now. Is it legit to hold somebody in jail for a month before their preliminary hearing? With no bond? Don't they need to make a finding of probable cause first? Well, they would have had to do that to issue the warrant. Oh, I'm talking myself around this. It just seems a very long time to sit with no bond in jail. Also, when you're in jail and you're sitting on a no bond hold, you don't earn time towards your sentence. So he's going to spend 25 days on a burglary charge, no bond hold, meaning he gets no credit for those. And pre-conviction time, I think you get like time and a half or something for it. Anyways, burglary seems, I don't know. It's interesting. I know. I stay out of Fulton County. Stay out of Fulton County, ladies and gentlemen.
22nd and May 24th are your two court dates.
All
You
right.
have any questions?
Uh-uh.
Okay, you may be excused, sir.
All right.
You need to sign anything? Yeah. Come right over here with the
Make sure you sign on the system.
This way. Yep, that's fine.
Next man up.
Next, you know, you step on them.
May I have your name, sir?
Tommy Lee Anderson.
So, straight down the hall, it's got a right side.
All right, Mr. Anderson, do you know what you're charged with? Okay.
Yes.
I'm not granting a bond at this.
Well, we don't. Why are you talking about that? It must be something very bad that she's asking it like that. Your bicycle needed, your mistress needed attention. Ay, ay, ay.
This time, I'm scheduling a separate bond hearing date for you. That will be on May 24th at 8:30 by Zoom video conference. And also on May 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, you'll have what is called your preliminary hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail on the charge. So May 22nd and May 24th are your two court dates. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you, so you will have a public defender available on those court appearances. You have any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your question?
My question is, I'm already Lowndes County now.
What's your question?
Why was the warrant was taken out? Because I already was registered in Lowndes County over a year ago. I've been removed from like Clayton County. That's why I know it's an error somewhere.
Okay, well, that may be, but I can read to you the details of the warrant if you want me to. But it's saying, and it's indicating that you didn't register, you've been unregistered since as of February 6th of this year.
Oh, that's a sex offender registry. SEGS offender registry. Failure to register. That must be what that is. we just saw that in Judge Stevens' court. I was mad that day because Judge Stevens was more lenient on that guy, allegedly, than some dude who had a prolific and extensive but petty theft. We're talking petty fucking theft. And then some dude who's violated children. They're just like, oh, well, I guess it was a mistake. No, it's not a fucking mistake. I don't know why they can't put permanent trackers on these people. Like, we put ankle bracelets on people all the time. I think that would be a good use of money.
Yes, I was registered down in Lowndes County at that date.
Okay, well, that's the purpose of the preliminary hearing. So
Yes,
on
ma'am.
May 22nd, that's where your attorney will be present, the state will be present, and any potential witnesses. And then there will be a discussion and an evidentiary hearing before another judge. And that's where you'll have the opportunity to give whatever defenses or arguments available. And they'll determine then if there's enough evidence to continue to hold you. Okay, I don't have enough before me today, so I can't make that decision. But that's why I've given you those 2 court dates as well as an attorney to help you out with your case.
Thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome. Take care.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, may I have your name?
Has he been beaten? Look at the side of his face. I swear to God, he looks like he's been beaten. Yeah, they can microchip. Well, I guess the microchip doesn't track them though. His face is so like off. I feel like he looks like he has a broken jaw. Do you see how it's like in a lot?
Jamel Bonner. All right, Mr. Bonner, you've been charged with felony theft by taking. I am denying bond. I've exercised my discretion to deny bond. I see that you just have several open theft cases already that have been pending. I see you have a theft charge out of Fulton as of April 16th this year, a theft charge out of DeKalb as of April last year, a theft charge out of Atlanta as of July 2022, criminal attempt in Atlanta, June 2022, and also another theft charge in Henry as of April 22nd of this year. So just based on your criminal history, I'm not granting a bond today. I'm going to schedule a separate.
They say theft by taking because it's a different charge than certain other things. For example, theft by conversion is a different type of theft. It's because he literally took it, as opposed to maybe did a different kind of fraud. I think that's what I think.
Hearing for that will be on May 24th, 2024 at 8:30 in the morning, and on May 22nd, 2024 at 8:30 in the morning, there will be a hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail on this theft charge. So your bond hearing, May 24th, your preliminary hearing, May 22nd. You understand everything I've said so far?
Yeah.
And I am also appointing an attorney to represent you at no cost to you. You have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You may be excused. Good morning. May I have your name, sir?
Memorial Bradford.
Okay.
Lamario? I've never heard that. I don't know why that's so funny to me. All I can think of is Mario Kart and my early French classes. Lamario. Oh, fuck. Loud, you make me laugh.
Henderson. Hunt. That's that.
All right, Mr. Bradford, you have a misdemeanor charge of harassing communications. I've set that bond at $2,000, and you have a special condition. You
Okay,
cannot, that special condition, you cannot contact Krista Danielle Bennett. Phone, in person, email, social media. You cannot go through a third person. Do not contact her. You understand that, sir?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, because if you violate this bond condition, you'll be arrested on felony aggravated stalking, and then you won't get a bond. So make sure you adhere to this bond condition. Now, your next court date, if you don't make this $2,000 bond, is going to be May 21st at 8:30 by Zoom video conference. If you bonded out before then, you waive that hearing because you bonded out and you're no longer in jail. Now, you have the option today to sign to go ahead and waive that court date ahead of time, or you can leave it scheduled. You want to waive it or leave it scheduled?
Hi, Knives Are Life. 2 months a member. Thank you so much. Boom, boom, boom. I hope all is well with you too. Oh, Bill's Pizza's here. Bill's Pizza's here. I want pizza. I think I'm gonna make tortillas today from scratch. You can tell I'm excited about that. I can't find my tortilla press. I had a tortilla press that I bought when I was pressing rosin, and I can't find it now. Oh, it might be in that back cupboard. Ooh.
Leave it scheduled.
Okay. Just keep in mind, if you make bond, you'll just receive a new court date by mail. I did receive your application. You do qualify for a public defender. Okay,
Right.
so I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, Mr. Bradford?
No, ma'am.
All right, you may be excused. Take care. Good morning.
Good
Can you have
morning,
your
ma'am.
name?
Ronald County.
You said Ronald County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. County, you have 3 misdemeanor charges. You have driving, I'm sorry, 4.
It was supposed to be three.
No, 3. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, 3.
Oh, that's okay, Your Honor.
All right, so it's driving on a suspended license. That bond is $1,500. No proof of insurance. I set that bond at $1,000, and driving on suspended registration, that bond is $500. So your total bond amount is $3,000. Your next court date, if you do not make this $3,000 bond, your next court date is May 21st at 8:30 in the morning. But if you make this bond before then, you've waived that court date by bonding out. You can also sign a waiver today and waive it ahead of time if you want, or you can leave it scheduled.
I want to waive it and get this process over with as soon as possible, just in case I can't make bond, Your Honor.
Okay, so I have indicated on the system here that you've waived it. So your next court date will come by mail, or if you're still incarcerated, you'll get notice at the jail of when your next court date will be.
That's it.
Let me take a look at your application for a court-appointed attorney. You do qualify based on your responses to have a public defender. So I am granting you that request. You'll have counsel with you in court. You have any questions?
No, ma'am. I do not.
Okay. All right, just make sure you sign on the system before you leave. Take care.
Your Honor, have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Is that eggs every which way? Donald, by the way, you can't stand any eggs. Also, so rosin for marijuana. Oh, it is very blurry. Rosin from marijuana comes from, you extract it from the use of heat and pressure as opposed to a chemical. So you can extract like a concentrate of THC oil from utilizing butane or other types of solvents, but rosin, you only utilize pressure and a slight amount of heat. So like I used to have an industrial rosin press, and you set the temperature and then press it down, and you're in between parchment paper. The reason I had the tortilla press is because of before I had the rosin press, I used a hair straightener, and I would stand on that to heat it up, and then I would put it into the rosin press to get as much out as I could, or into the tortilla presses to get as much out as I could. But I like rosin, but you won't find rosin at many dispensaries in a large amount. You'll find shatter more likely because it's so much easier to make shatter. You just can't scale up rosin. It doesn't work. I've done it. I've pressed like literally 14 grams of weed at once. You get more when you press a 1/4 gram nug than when you press lots together. It's just the way it works. So, and also you need rosin bags usually to put them in. And anyways, okay, let's continue. Oh, also I did not find the tortilla press. I looked, it's not there.
Good morning. May I have your name?
Michael Glover.
All right, Mr. Glover, you've been charged with 2 misdemeanors. You have a reckless conduct charge. That bond is $1,000. You also have a charge of discharging a gun near a highway or a street. That bond is $2,000. So your total bond amount is $3,000. You understand your charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you do not make this $3,000 bond, then your next court appearance will be on May 21st at 8:30. You'll be brought up just like you were brought up today, and there will be a hearing by Zoom video conference to determine whether or not there's enough evidence to keep you in jail on these charges. But if you make this $3,000 bond before May 21st, you've waived that court date and you won't have it because you're no longer in jail. Now, I will give you the option to sign a document today to waive that court date ahead of time if you'd like, or you can leave it scheduled. So you want to waive it or you want to leave it scheduled?
I'll waive it.
Okay, so I'm going to indicate on here that you are waiving it. So you will receive your next court date in the mail, and that next court date will be arraignment. At that time, you'll plead guilty, not guilty, and then your case moves on from there. Now, I did receive your application for a court-appointed attorney. I am appointing a public defender to represent you, so you'll have counsel with you in court at no cost to you. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that's all I have. Make sure you sign on the system and take care.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. May I have your name?
Sarah Crudup.
Say your name again?
Sarah Crudup.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me get to your file here. Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 misdemeanor. That's criminal trespass, family violence. I've set that bond at $1,000. Now, you do have a special condition to this bond. That is to stay away from DeWanda Latrice Crudup Tharp. I believe that's your spouse, but you still have to stay away and have no contact. And I won't let you go back to the shared residence. So you can't go back to 1309 Cameron Landon Drive in Stockbridge. I will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff once you bond out. Call the sheriff's office within 10 days of you bonding out. Have them escort you back to the residence so you can pack and collect some of your personal belongings. That's not in dispute. And so while this bond condition is in place, you got to stay away from her in that residence. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question though.
What's your
If she's not a resident of that residence, like I mean, that's my residence, not hers. Do I still need to stay away? I mean, I get that's a part of the bond, but I mean, she doesn't live there, I do.
Oh, okay, hold on, let me double check. Who is she to you?
My auntie.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, okay. Okay, so, yeah, no, it doesn't indicate that you all reside together. So I will remove that condition. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
Aww. I've never owned a dog, so I can't give you any
Okay,
advice.
all right, so the only condition is just to don't have any contact with auntie while this bond condition is in place. Your next, so like I said, your bond is $1,000. Your next court date, if you don't make this $1,000 bond, will be May 21st at 8:30 in the morning by Zoom video conference. If you're still in jail, we'll bring you up and there'll be a hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to keep this charge or keep you in jail on this charge. Now, if you make this $1,000 bond before May 21st, you won't have that hearing because by bonding out, you've waived that court hearing. Now, you do have the option of just signing a waiver today to waive that court hearing ahead of time. Do you want to do that or you want to keep it scheduled?
Oh, wait.
Okay, so I will indicate on here as well that you're waiving it. So your next court appearance will come by mail. That will be your arraignment. Okay, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. I did receive your application for a public defender and you are approved. So you will have an attorney to help you with this case at no cost. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, you're good to go. Thank you. Good morning. May I have your name?
Say Henderson.
All right, Mr. Henderson, you have been charged with one misdemeanor offense of driving under the influence. I've set that bond at $2,500. And as a special condition, you are not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs while this bond condition is in place. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date, if you are still in jail and you don't make this $2,500 bond, your next court date will be your preliminary hearing on May 21st at 8:30 by Zoom video conference.
I would like
Okay, you already knew what I was going to ask you. All right, give me 1 second. Let me indicate that you're waiving it. All right, so I've indicated in the system that you are waiving it. You'll receive your next court date. Once your case gets transferred from magistrate court to state court, your next court date will be arraignment and your case will go on from there. I did receive your application. I am appointing a public defender to represent you, so you'll have counsel present in court with you.
I would have got my own representation
Oh, you want your own? Okay.
already. My attorney.
You said you already hired an attorney? Okay, hang on. Let me put on here that you.
Wait now, my accent is real. When I talk like this is me. When I say pasta, that's the way I say it. I just say it. I say pasta. And I don't always wear the wig either. You want to know the truth? I'm trying to grow my hair out so that I can dye it blonde without having to pay $500. It's terribly annoying. Oh, my Irish accent. Oh, yeah. Diddly dee potatoes. That one's fake, yeah. And it was meant to be Nova Scotian too, so just terrible on me.
Are hiring your own counsel. Thank you for letting me know. All right, so we'll just you are good to go. Just let your lawyer know that you've waived your preliminary hearing and your next court date will come by mail. Do you have any questions?
Am I still able to drive? No, no, yes. It is suspended license already.
I just have a DUI in front of me, so I don't have anything else. So you'll have to, I mean, if you got some issues with your license, you may want to check with the Department of Motor Vehicle before you start driving.
I was
All I-
asking. I don't know.
My only condition on this bond for this DUI is you can't have any alcohol or illegal drugs while this bond condition is in place.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Not really, but it's okay. I'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. Take care. Yes, he waived. Just have him sign on the system. All right, may I have your name?
Iris Hunt.
Okay, Mr. Hunt, you've been charged with one misdemeanor offense of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That bond is $500. Your next court date, if you're still in jail, is May 21st at 8:30. That is your preliminary hearing.
If you're still in jail, oh my God, do you hear what she's saying? Do you hear what she's saying? Your next court date for possession of marijuana less than an ounce could be in a month. I'm sorry, what? That's nuts. And in this case, you'd be better off paying the bond fully because you'll get your money back at the end, as opposed to going with a bonding company who will still charge you $500. That seems ridiculous to me. A fucking waste of, and I always feel bad when they say like possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and I look around me and I can see like more than an ounce of marijuana around me right now. And it is legal here, but it's just silly.
That will take place to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail on this charge. But if you make this $500 bond before May 21st, you won't have court that day.
Pay $500 to get out.
Yes, your bond that you would have to pay is $500 if you have it cash, plus any fees that the sheriffs may add when you bond out.
10% of 500.
10% of 500 is $50. So if you go through a bonding company, they'll tell you the exact amount because sometimes they add on some administrative fees, but you'll just call them to find out. Now, if you bond out before May 21st, you won't have that court date. But if you're still in jail on May 21st, you will have a hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail. All right. Or you can waive that hearing today by signing a waiver. Okay, let me indicate on the system. I got you. All right, I've indicated in the system that you're waiving it. So your next court date you will get by mail or you'll get there at the jail. I did receive your application for a court-appointed attorney. I am appointing a public defender to represent you at no cost. You have any questions, sir?
No, man.
Okay, you may be excused. Take care. Make sure you sign on the system. Good morning, may I have your name?
Teal Kit.
Say your name one more time.
Teal Kit.
Teal Kit? Teal. She says. Oh,
okay, I see you here. All right, Mr. Kit, so you've been charged with one misdemeanor, is battery is your charge. Your bond is $1,500. And this is stemming from an incident back in June of 2022. But you are to stay away and have no contact with the two named individuals in this warrant. That is Jasmine Baker and Rakita Rayford. They are at the BioLife Center. So don't contact them while this bond condition is in place. And don't go back to BioLife at 1968 Mount Zion Road in Monroe, Georgia. You understand?
Is that a drug testing place or a DNA testing place? What happened at BioLife in June of 2022? Oh, sometimes I just wonder.
Your bond and your conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your next court date, if you do not bond out by then, is going to be your preliminary hearing on May 21st at 8:30 in the morning by video conference. But if you make this $1,500 bond before May 21st, you've already waived that hearing by bonding out. I will also give you an opportunity to sign a waiver today to waive it ahead of time if you want to. Do you want to sign a waiver to waive your next court date, or do you want to leave it scheduled?
We don't have those in Canada. Well, we have blood donation centers, but you can't get paid to donate blood in Canada. So, or plasma. There's no, you cannot exchange money for human products. You can't even pay a surrogate in Canada, actually, to carry your baby legally. But we have a public system for donating blood and plasma, but we don't, there's no payment at all.
I guess I'll waive it. Waiving just basically speeds up the process.
Yeah, it just transfers your case from magistrate court to state court a little faster. And then once you get to state court, that's when they'll schedule you for arraignment where you plead guilty or not guilty, and then your case goes on from there.
Okay.
Do you want to waive it? Okay, so the deputies will give you a paper form there to waive. And so just sign indicating that you want to waive it. And as I mentioned, once that paperwork gets processed, you'll receive a new court date by mail. And let me take a look at your application for a court-appointed attorney. Okay, I am going to appoint a public defender to represent you, Mr. Kent. So.
Okay, but plasma, I mean, that's really splitting hairs, right? Plasma versus blood, whole blood. It's just, it is a fucking industry in the United States. That's just the truth. And so is sperm banks, I guess. And maybe egg banks. Can you donate eggs too? Pass my prime now. They don't want my stuff.
You will have counsel present. Do you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, you're good to go. Just make sure you sign the waiver. Deputies, he's not in JOTS, so this will be your traditional waiver form that he'll have to sign.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Before my sister got pregnant, I offered her, I said to her, I was like, listen, if you need a surrogate, I could be a surrogate. I'll even stop smoking weed. That's how much I love my sister. But luckily she got pregnant and now we have baby Plaid. But yeah, what is this guy doing? Oh my goodness. He does look like a young Michael Jackson.
May I have your name?
Jeremiah Lewis.
Okay, let me get to your file, Mr. Lewis.
Keep going straight, all the way down to the right. What the hell? Okay.
Canadian Blood Services calls me literally once a week for my O negative blood. They just fiend for it. They're like, we need your blood. It's O negative. Everybody can use it. And I'm like, I know, but you get all pissy when I go through all the questions. So can we just stop pretending?
Okay, so Mr. Lewis, you've been charged with three misdemeanor offenses. Your first one is discharge of a gun near a highway or street. That bond is $2,000. You also have a reckless conduct. That bond is $1,000. And then your third offense is possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That bond is $500. Your total bond, $3,500. Your next court date is May 21st, and that's only if you don't bond out. So if you're still in jail and you don't make this $3,500 bond, you will have a preliminary hearing on May 21st at 8:30 to determine if there's enough evidence to keep you in jail on these charges. Now, if you make this $3,500 bond before May 21st and you're no longer in jail, you've waived it by bonding out. You can also sign a waiver today to waive it ahead of time if you want to. Do you want to sign a waiver today, or do you want to leave it scheduled?
Yes, ma'am, I'm gonna waive it.
Okay. I am going to indicate on the system here that you're going to waive it. So you'll receive your court date by mail of when to come back to court for your arraignment. I did receive your application for a court-appointed attorney. Based on your responses, you do qualify for a public defender. So I am granting that request. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Lewis?
Ma'am, I got one question. If it comes to if I want to switch to like a paid lawyer, I can still do that, right?
Yeah, you always have the option to, hire anybody you want to represent you. Your lawyer, once you hire a new lawyer, they'll know what to do to notify the court. They'll file the necessary paperwork. Okay. All right. If you don't have anything else, then that's all I have. Make sure you sign on the system. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning. May I have your name?
Quay McCoy.
Say your name slowly for me.
Quay McCoy.
Oh, Mr. McCoy. All right. So, Mr. McCoy, you've been charged with three offenses. You have assault. I'm sorry, you have battery. Battery, that's $2,000. You have a criminal damage to property in the second degree, that's $2,000. Cruelty to children in the first degree, that's $2,000. So your total bond amount is $6,000. You are to stay away and have no contact with Elijah Kimbrough, and stay away and have no contact with minor Saleha McCoy. You understand everything I've said so far? Your next court date is your preliminary hearing. It is May 22nd, 2024 at 8:30. If you're still in jail by that date, you will be brought up before the court, and there will be a hearing to determine whether or not there's enough evidence to keep you in jail. And because you have a felony charge, you won't be, I'm not allowing you to waive it today. If you decide to waive it later after speaking with counsel, you're free to do so. But today I'm going to leave it scheduled for May 22nd. I did receive your application for a public defender, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you at no cost to you. You have any questions for me, sir?
No.
Okay, you may be excused. Hello, may I have your name?
Demetrius McKenzie.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me get to your file. Okay, Mr. McKenzie, you have been charged with 3 misdemeanors and 1 felony. Your misdemeanor charges are window tint violation. That bond is $500. Open container, that bond is $500. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce, that bond is $500. Your felony offense is possession of a firearm by first offender probationer. That bond is $2,500. Your total bond amount is $4,000. Your next court date is going to be scheduled for May 22nd, 2024 at 8:30. And that's only if you're still in jail. If you make this $4,000 bond before May 22nd, you won't have that hearing. and you'll get a new court date in the mail. You understand everything I've mentioned so far?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your next, excuse me, I'm sorry, your application for a court-appointed attorney has been received. I am appointing an attorney to represent you at no cost. You have any questions for me, sir?
I was probably, it is cool to get a paid lawyer, right?
Absolutely. If you decide at some point to hire your own attorney, you are free to do so. They will file what they need to file to notify the court and to notify the public defender, okay?
Okay,
All right, take care. Make sure you sign on the system.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Did he waive?
No, I'm not permitting him to waive. He has a felony charge. No problem. Good afternoon now. May I have your name?
Good afternoon, Kevin McKinney.
Okay, let me get to your file. Okay, so Mr. McKinney, you have been charged with one misdemeanor, driving under the influence, less safe alcohol. I have set that bond at $2,500. You have a special condition to not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs while you are out on bond on this charge. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your next court date, if you don't make this $2,500 bond, is going to be May 21st at 8:30 in the morning by Zoom video conference. Now, if you make this bond before May 21st, by bonding out, you've waived that court date and it's not necessary. Or you can go ahead and sign a waiver today to waive that court date ahead of time. Do you want to sign a waiver to waive it, or do you want to just leave it scheduled?
I guess I can wait because I should be bonded out already.
Okay. So I am indicating on here that you are waiving it. So you'll receive your next court date by mail. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. And I did approve your application for a public defender. So you'll have a counsel representing you in court at no cost to you. You have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, make sure you sign on the system before you leave. Take care.
So.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna watch one more and then I'm going to call it and we will set up the members only. I think he'll set it up for 3:20. So we'll just listen to one more.
Who's next? Thank you, y'all. What's your last name, sir?
McKinney.
Huh?
Kevin McKinney.
Yep.
Middleton, Strong, and Truong. Who's Middleton?
Mackenzie, McKinney, Middleton. What's your name?
Could you just imagine if we saw Judge Middleton in his long hair come up next?
Sir, what's your name? Middleton. Go ahead. What's your name? Is there Russell?
Good afternoon. May I have your name, sir?
Travion Middleton.
Strong.
Not the same Middleton.
All right, Mr. Middleton. So you've been charged with 2 felonies, 1 misdemeanor. The felony was felony obstruction of an officer and felony possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I'm dismissing both of those felonies for insufficient probable cause. The misdemeanor, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, that bond is $500. You understand what I've mentioned so far?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so your next court date is your preliminary hearing for this marijuana less than an ounce offense. I've scheduled that for May 21st at 8:30 in the morning. And that's only if you're still in jail by that date. If you make this $500 bond before then, you've waived that bond hearing, you've waived that preliminary hearing by bonding out because you're no longer in jail. You can also sign a waiver today if you choose to do so to waive that court date ahead of time. Do you want to waive that May 21st court date today, or you want to leave it scheduled?
I'm gonna leave it scheduled.
Okay. I did review your application. I am appointing an attorney to represent you, so you will have a public defender. You have any questions?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay, you may be excused. Take care.
Wow, we got a partial D, you guys. That was a partial D. Okay, here's what's going to happen. We are going to do members only at 3:20 Pacific time, which is 6:20 East. I have some members only things that we will talk about and also watch. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. Thank you so much for all your support. Always means the world. And I really enjoy hanging out with you. That's his rap name, Partial D. That's hilarious. Anyways, reminder, I love you. I'm proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. In metric time, I don't even know. 6:20 East, 3:20 Pacific. Bye.